and being in a place where you feel you belong. It's about social cohesion and how buildings like this one we're standing in can help build social cohesion. So we can never be our aspirational selves at home, which is our first place, because we have to be mother, sister, you know, whatever it is. We have roles that force us to behave in certain ways. But we can never be our aspirational self at work either, because we're having to be, you know, the marketing officer or the programmer. The theory is everybody's looking for a space, a physical space, where they can be who they want to be. So this idea that actually you're warmly welcomed and for who you are is really, really important.
Dwi'n credu na'r sesiwn ar Alzheimer's oedd yr un sydd wedi chosi chydig o gynnwr o ran mae o'n rhywbeth sydd yn effeithio arno ni gyd, a doedd o ddim yn hollol amlwg I fi be yn union sut y byddwn ni fel gwyl ffilm yn yr achos yma, sut y byddwn ni yn gallu gwneud gwahaniaeth I bobl sy'n byw hefo Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I think it's been fantastic in fairness. Massively beneficial. It's the first of its kind that I've been to. So yeah, really interesting, really glad I came. It's been really informative.
It's been really interesting, obviously by having all these variant speakers during the day. It's given me an opportunity to compare how we already deliver what we do in our venue and how best to improve it really.
The detail and the finer details are going to go, and they will go as the dementia progresses, but the emotion and nice feeling that we may have with somebody, or not nice feeling, negative feeling, will stay. And again, I used to see this a lot working in the field I was working in, where certain people with dementia would respond very well to certain staff because of the emotional connection or interaction they'd had, and if it was negative then there would be that caution.
And it's fantastic because it helps us sort of like as a venue sort of look at our audience in a really basic way. Like, so we were talking about, for example, people with dementia, sort of really patterned carpets, or, you know, feeling, you know, so just the perception of that, just sort of having people, you know, are we a safe place, you know, do we feel like a safe place for people? And sort of toilets with trans awareness, you know, are we doing enough to make it really clear that we're really a really friendly place sort of for everybody? And it's really great because, I mean, from just a really basic standpoint, just a financial standpoint, it's, you know, there's this untapped audience that we could get in, so it's really great.
Because I work in like different bits of the film sector, so I work in exhibition and I work in production as well, so it's always, I like hearing about the way people connect with audiences and the way films connect with audiences as well. Like, as a filmmaker, it's really useful to know how your films are engaging with people and how they're shown, and but as someone who puts films on as well, then yeah, and I like hearing about how other people do it. So.
Some of the initiatives and things I can put in place this week, you know, as early as this week, so, you know, for some of the diverse audiences, you know, it's just going to be nice to get them involved then at the Gwyn Hall.
And also families have a sort of a journey that they go through, you know, there's all kinds of emotions that go along with having a child with additional needs, you know, feelings of guilt, feelings of disappointment, feelings of failure, and feelings of anger, and that's a journey that families are going through.
There were lots of films from Middle East, Africa, various continents, Asia, South America, but largely, despite how multicultural the population is in Cardiff, it was largely white audiences that were going to see these films.
Agor drysa ydy enw'r y diwrnod heddiw, so fel o ran agor drysa, oedd hi ddifyr gweld maes sydd wedi cael ei anwybyddu yn cael dipyn o sylw.
So this is the first diversity training when I've been to, so yeah, it was very informative and very worth coming.
Well, we've just come out of the dementia workshop, and I think for me, given that we participated in the Love Blockbuster season in November, and some of the incidences of our programming encouraged people from an older generation to come. And I think I commented in the workshop, one of those was a dementia sufferer who came with her carers, and it brought some reminiscence into the room that obviously sparked an emotion for her. So for us that was a very special moment and showed how impacting film can be on so many different people for so many different reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. I really do, in fairness. I think these things should absolutely you know, occur more often. I'd be interested in attending it every time if it was, you know, in this sort of format, and you know, it's been hugely informative. and beneficial to me.
The stats for me have been really interesting, specifically obviously about film, but I think generally the conversation about the diversity of our audiences has been an eye-opener. Yeah, I think this has been a standout event so far, and we're only halfway through the day.
Dwi wedi mwynhau'r diwrnod hyd yma, a dwi wedi dysgu lot. Yn aml iawn mae rhywun yn meddwl am hyfforddiant fel rhywbeth ychwanegol, ac hefo gwaith mae yna wastad rhywbeth sydd yn mynnu sylw, ac felly mae hyfforddiant a diwrnodau fel hyn weithiau'n cael ei rhoi i'r un ochr. Ond dwi'n credu bod heddiw wedi profi pa mor bwysig ydi o i wneud yn siŵr bod chi'n rhoi digon amser. Felly mae yna ddau aelod o dîm Iris yma heddiw. A dwi'n credu bod y ddau o'n ni wedi dysgu lot, wedi dysgu jyst rhannu profiadau ydy lot ohono fo, a sylweddoli fod pobl eraill mewn sefyllfa tebyg efo'r un math o gwestiynau ac yn y blaen. Felly, rhannu a teimlo bod chi ddim yn gweithio ar liwt eich hun mewn rhyw fath o ynys. Bod ti'n gweithio a bod na deulu fel petai ar draws Cymru sydd yn ymwneud ar maes yma.
If you take that model and look at the trans community, at the bottom level, 92% of trans people hear abuse on a daily basis. Next level up, 81% say they experience silence and avoidance by people in society. On to discrimination. 35% of trans people say that they've been discriminated against as far as the applications for jobs are concerned. They feel they didn't get their job because they were trans.
A friend of ours who actually goes to our group told us once about he went to use the loos in his student union and he got picked up by a bouncer and physically taken out of the bathrooms. So things like that happen a lot. But I saw this photo and I think it was like Bristol Uni, and they had these signs outside the bathrooms that said, if you see someone in the bathroom who you think shouldn't be with there, they probably know more than you.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I've done a lot. It'd be interesting to come back maybe 6 months' time and see where everyone's doing.